Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Tigard Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 6 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, June 26th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you. So start off, we'll look at active listing activity. This last week in Tigard, I show we had 56 homes come on the market, and you can kind of see that that's a slight high for the 6-week period here. And ended the week at 140 homes on the market in total, and you can kind of see that's certainly been on the rise here over the past 5 weeks. So definitely more inventory out in the marketplace than where we've been. Median list price and days on market activity, you can kind of see we had a low of 649, a high of 699, and this last week came in right in the middle of that at 675, up 50,000 from the week prior. And then days on market's been a little up and down. We had a low of 7, high of 16 here a couple weeks back. This last week fell back to 12. With kind of the more properties kind of coming on the market, brought that back down a little bit. But this is certainly kind of signs of a bit of a slowing market. You kind of see this rise of inventory levels over the past month here or so, and on average days on market up a bit as well. Moving along to pending sales, this last week I show we had 30 homes go into pending status in Tigard, and that's kind of a low of 21, high of 40, so kind of right in the middle of that this last week. End of the week at 171 homes in pending status in total. Again, hasn't been a ton of movement there. Had a low of 162, a high of 176. So kind of again right in the middle of that. Median price and days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see that has been rising in terms of the price. I had a low of 611. This last week kind of hit a high for the 6 weeks at 639 for median price. And then days on market been very steady at 5. This last week kind of ticked up 1 day to 6. So things still getting into contract very quickly in Tigard. This last week bumped up 1 day, but still under a week. So lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this together, I show we had 25 homes go from pending to sold this last week in Tigard. And this always gets kind of adjusted up over the next week with homes that haven't been recorded yet. But up a couple from the week prior, and been pretty consistent, pretty steady over this past 6 weeks. I want to look back over the 4 weeks. Prior 4-week period, or basically the last month, show we had 111 homes this past week had sold in Tigard, and that's down a bit from where it was a few weeks ago. But again, been fairly steady over the past 6 weeks. And median sold price and days on market for the solds, that is kind of trended down a little bit from where we were. So we were at 675 6 weeks ago. We were at a low of 626 a couple weeks back, and then this last week popped up a bit to 635. And again, things selling quickly, 4 days, and then again bumped up just 1 day to 5 this last week. And then lastly, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the OLP, or original list price. So red bars is the weeks of inventory. We had a low of just over 3 weeks of inventory here to kind of start the period out. And it has been on the rise, no doubt about it, here for the past month. This last week kind of came in at 5 weeks of inventory. So more homes on the market, things staying a little longer, sales kind of moderating. So definitely kind of driving this number up. I would say, with 5 weeks of inventory, that's definitely, we're not falling off a cliff or anything. Still, seller's market territory, but not as crazed as the market has been, earlier this year. The sale price as a percent of the original list price, that has been coming down as well. We were at 6 to 7% above asking price here 6 weeks ago. That's been kind of ticking down week by week. This last week kind of came in at just under a 5% premium over list. So, things are still competitive out there. So, good thing for buyers is there's more to look at, not as many intense bidding wars as they were, but, again, if you want to buy a home, on average, you're still paying, a little above list price. So I hope that update has been helpful to you, and I certainly would welcome the opportunity to become your trusted realtor and help you move through life. So just give me a call at 503-680-2065. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have about what's happening in your market, your neighborhood, and see what I could do to be of any help. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.